Millennium Development Goals. Now we are going to start about the Sustainable Development Goals. What is the Sustainable Development Goals in the world? See, the Sustainable Development Goals, which is going to be bring the poverty down and inequalities, protection of the planet, ensure the people's health, and give the economical, social justice and prosperity. So the main aim of this Sustainable Development Goals, which has been formulated in 2015 by the United Nations General Assembly to bring the people to enjoy their health regarding the economical social status in the society. Now, the main agenda of the Sustainable Development Goals was formed by 17 agenda, which we call it the 17 agenda, which has been based upon the yes, these are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals to transform our world. That is, see, these are the 17 things according to the agenda which has been given by the United Nations General Assembly. The main aim of this resolution, which has been taken place in 6th July 2017, the agenda is for 2030. See, before it was 2020 and now it becomes 2030. The millennium goal was 2015. The Sustainable Development Goals, the agenda was to attain no poverty, educating the people, etc. Certain 17 points was being given. 17 goals were being front of the assembly. These are that is agenda 2030. It has been based on 15th July 2017. The Sustainable Development Goals was made actionable by the UNGA resolution, which identified the specific targets each and every state and country has to be taken. These are they are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals to transform our world. That is, if a people does not have, in the country which does not have a poverty, they don't have an hunger. See, these are the 17 things which is the front of for each and every nation. That is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water, sanitization, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reducing inequality, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption of production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace and justice, strong institutions, partnership to achieve the goal. See, I just tell these are the 17 points which is before to transform our world. Now, I'm just going to explain these in the story form. See, the country which does not have any poverty. When you don't have a poverty, you need not face any hunger. Means zero hunger is going to be taken place. When there is no hunger, you are going to have a good health and good well-being is going to be taken. And when you are in good health and you are in a rich or you are above poverty line, then your parents, they give a quality of education. The nations give a quality of education. When there is a quality of education, means you have a good education and you have been educated. People who are educated, they don't go for the discrimination of gender equalities. So when there is no gender inequality, means gender equality is there. Means there is no difference between male, female at workplaces. So gender equality can be maintained if you have a good quality of education. So when there is no gender inequality, when gender equality is there, then you go for a clean water and sanitization. And for this water and sanitization, you have to establish more sanitization in the nation, means in the nation, and that sanitization required more money. Means you have to affordable work and clean energy is means to establish lights, LED lights. For that one, you need the affordable and clean energy. Means quality energy is required. For that quality of energy, you want to buy it, you need a work. So decent work and economic growth. When the work has been given, every person has been reduced the unemployment in that nation, automatically there will be economic growth in that country. When there is an economic growth in the country, it leads for what? It leads for the industrialization, innovation, and infrastructure. The country or the nation which is having a good industrialization, innovation, infrastructure, it reduces inequalities among the villages. When once inequalities has been come down in the villages, and automatically it convert all the villages are going to be converted into sustainable cities and communities because where the industries and innovations or infrastructures has been bring to the balanced regional development in the country. The industrialization has been started in the remote areas or in the villages, and that villages will reduce the inequalities of income. When income has been increased, automatically the villages are going to, or the towns which are going to be converted into cities and communities. When cities and communities has been converted, means all the people has been educated, they converted into cities and communities, automatically the responsibilities of the citizens increases. When the responsibilities of citizens increases, they know about not to waste anything, means responsible of consumption and production takes place. When once responsible of consumption takes place, automatically what happens, they will have a control over the climate action because global warming or what this means environmental pollution can be controlled. This climate action can be taken place. And once the climate action is going to be taken place, the life below water, that is the life below water or the life on the land can be have. Means, for example, life below water fisheries or whatever species which are under the water, you have to protect them. When you protect them only or the life on the land without any noise pollution, without having the means not means wasting any resources, then you can give a good lead a good life on the land. When you have a clear water and a good land, then automatically you maintain peace and justice for a strong institution. When a person is having everything and automatically has a peace and he gets the justice of for a strong institution. And this is going to be helpful to cope up with the nature. That is the partnership to achieve the goals. Whatever the 16 things are there, that is no poverty, no hunger, good health, like this. All these 16 goals are there. This can be achieved only when you are having to achieve the goals, when you are coping up with the nature, this can be taken place. So these are the sustainable development goals which has been to transform our world to have a good life in future. Now, we have a resource structure. Now, what type of resources we have? We have two types of resources. One is the natural resources, another is the man-made resources. So the natural resources are materials from the earth which we are going to support our life. Like for any natural substances that human beings are going to be used, like coal, natural gas, oil, any metals which are there, which we are going to useful for our needs, etc. The other natural resources also we are going to have like sunlight, soil, water, air. All these are going to be used for means not only these are going to be useful for us, but also which is going to be available in the nature on the earth, which is called as a natural resource. Now, what are the types of natural resources we have? We have two types of natural resources, that is biotic, abiotic, and renewable, non-renewable. Now, what is abiotic natural resources we have? The biotic natural resources like human beings, animals, plants, which are existing on earth is called a biotic. Abiotic, which is not having means life to that, it is called a abiotic, like metals, rocks, stones. Both biotic and abiotic resources are being renewable and non-renewable. Now, coming to the another type of structure of resources is renewable and non-renewable. Renewable means which again, after using also we can use again and again, which is called renewable. Non-renewable, when once we have been used, you can't again renew it. Why? Because once it has been consumed, you can't make it in the original position. So, what are the renewable resources like sunlight, wind, water, forest. Likewise, all these are the renewable resources. What are the non-renewable resources like fuels, minerals, which are beneath of the earth? Because these minerals which have been formed million years ago, means to form these minerals, for example, gold mines or uh, the fossils or the fuel beneath of the earth, it has taken millions of years to form them. So eventually, when we are going on using that, it will be complete within our lifetime. That's why to protect all these minerals for the future generation, we should not waste any resources. Using the resources should be taken utmost care. The next one is the next one is a land, which we are going to talk is another the important natural resources. Land, which is being a surface on the earth, it is not permanently covered by the water. The surface of the earth is either the land or the water. It is a composition of both land and water. So 30% of land is being covered out of 100%. Remaining 70.8% water which is being included. The total area of the land which is being covered is 148 million square kilometers, nearly 149 square meters are 149 million square kilometers are covered with the total land mass. And 31% that has been covered by the forest, 33% it has been covered by the desert, 24% it has been covered by the mountains. Now, how means when we are talking about the land is not only a place on the earth, which is a combination of different kinds of things, the other natural sources, which is purpose of cultivation, which we use for a human being in a several purposes we are going to be used. That is, for the purpose of agriculture, we use the land. For the purpose of the forestry, mining, building houses and road construction, setting up the industries, etc. Not only this, we also provide the varieties of flora and fauna. Means we have different kinds of flowers and different kinds of trees growing in the hill areas, plateaus, plains, etc. And we have different kinds of fauna, birds, etc., animal husbandries, etc. These are going to be there on the land. And all the parts of the land are habitable and constituted only around the 30% of the Earth's surface. Due to the variety climate, the characteristics of land is being populated across the globe is unevenly distributed. See, people who are means distributed on the land in the different areas and the different regions, their culture and the things will be different from one place to another place. The thick forest, desert areas, low-lying areas, all these are having on the land only. The suitable land for agriculture is basically it should be near the river valleys and the plains. The land is used for many purposes of setting of like industries or building or house, mining, forest, agriculture. So land is being used to determine the physical factors availability of water, mineral, climate, soil, and topography. See, generally, the industries where you want to establish the industries, you need water, power, minerals, etc. In the same way, you want to cultivate the land. So you want to cultivate it, and the basic sources of cultivation for land is you need the water. So land means availability of all the other resources also should be there. That is water, mineral, climate, soil, and topography. All the important determinants of land used for the human factors such as technology and population. So this is how means all the different communities and lands are also called a common property resources for any type of community, whether or any type of race people, they are on the land only. It is not that these people are a part of that. Every different characteristics, different types of any life which is going to be take place on land only. Either it is a plantation, either it is an animal, or either it is a human being. The common community which can commonly used a collection of medicines, herbs, nuts, fruits. All these are found on the land only. So they will some of the we have two types of land: public land and the private land. Public land which is be owned by the government, private land which is being owned by the individual. So land is getting degraded recently. Why? Because we are using more fertilization at the time of agriculture, doing agriculture or fertilizing the land, etc. So that degradation, which will not be a good result in future because it is being a depletion of water is going to be taking place. So hence that should not be done by the human beings. The another major important resources is water. Without water, no human being can be exist on the earth because we can be without means you can't be without air, you can't be live without water, you can't be live without food because these are the things where a human being can exist on the earth with these only air, water, food only. So water plays a very important role to run the life on the earth. So water is an which existing the life on the earth. So most part of the world water, which is having nearly about 70% of water, but we are not going to use the 70% of water because we need the pure water, which we are going. Because the other areas, for example, when you see the ocean waters or the sea waters, which are salty water. The rest water they are called the fresh water. The fresh water is frozen solids and large glaciers in Antarctica and Greenland. Why? Because you don't find the fresh waters around the globe because we having more than 70% of water on the earth. But the earth, water we are getting, those all the 70% water is not a fresh water. The fresh water which we get from the rivers, etc., and some of the water has become a solid in the Antarctica place and the Greenland. Water is also a precious for natural resources for each and every daily activities for drinking water, for cooking food, etc. We need water. Not only human beings, the plants, animals, etc. The living things on the earth require the water. On an average, every individual uses 600 to 700 liters of water daily. Now, what are the sources of water? From where do we get water? We get water from the rainwater, groundwater, which includes the water bodies like wells, springs, etc. We are going to use, and surface water. Surface water like reservoirs, rivers, streams, ponds, lakes, and tanks. These surface waters, which are going to be naturally found, are constructed by the governments. So these are the sources of the water. That is rainwater, groundwater, and surface water. As mentioned, about 97% of the water on the Earth's surface is covered water. Only 2 to 3 is available for safe drinking. Means we are having 70% of water on the Earth. But what is the percentage of fresh water is only 2 to 3%. Rest of the water is the salt water only. Other third of the Earth's fresh water is being frozen. Means the glaciers like in Antarctica which has formed in the solid. So they are not usable. Only 2 to 3% of the fresh water is there. So human beings have to use the water very means no wastage of water. They have to see as precious as gold or diamond like water. Future, they maybe have a scarcity of water. So protecting the environmental which may help for the future generations. Now, what is the importance of water? When we know about the importance of the water, domestic purposes like bathing, cleaning, cooking, drinking, and washing the water is needed. And for the other purpose like doing agriculture, irrigation, farming, gardening, and the crop control. And also the required water for the industrial applications and to drink water, and to lubricate joints, regulate the body temperature. See, we consume more water. Why we consume more water? To keep our body clean and to we have bath to keep our body clean. So we drink water to maintain our body temperature. So we also require the water for a daily use, not only for the human being, for the other persons, for other species like which are on the earth, like birds, animals, plants, etc. Now, forest resources. Another type of resources which we have is the forest resources. Our planet is a home of millions of living beings, from microorganisms and bacteria, which we are going to have a vast multitude of living organisms found on the earth. Human beings today can transform the nature and wildlife into a resources. See, day by day, forest resources are decreasing. Why? Because deforestation is going to be taken place by human beings. So hence, when you go for a deforestation, now what happens? Many of the living beings are dying, whether it's a microorganisms or animals or birds, which are going to die just because of a deforestation. So they in the forest, what types you have? We have different kinds of trees, forest with a wildlife like wood, bark, leaves, rubber, medicines, medicinal plants. See, even in the Amazon forest, we have a great medicinal plants which scientists still they are doing the research. Not only that, we find different kinds of fuel, fodder, all we find in the forest. We also find the wildlife animals which are now day by day the wildlife animal is decreasing because of the deforestation. A forest is being defined as an area land that covered by the trees. The Food of Agriculture Organization of United Nations defined forests as land spanning more than 0.5 hectares with trees higher than 5 meters and a canopy cover more than 10% or trees able to reach these issues in this situation is called as a forest. It does not include the land predominantly under agriculture. See, forest means which you are not going to cultivate it. There is means forest is a place where different kinds of organisms live in that one with a herbs, long trees, short trees, or different kinds of trees which grows in the forest. If you just think the difference between a forest and gardening, in a gardening you grow the plants or the trees according to your will and wish. But forest, it's not like that. There are different kinds of living beings are there. That is the plants, flora, fauna, animal husbandry, etc. Animals, wildlife animals, etc. You see in the forest. Now, what are the importance of the forest? Forests are for the survival of the living beings. Means we are going to be all the living organisms which you are going, which are on the earth, they require the oxygen, especially the human beings, which is having a huge population on the earth. They require the oxygen, the fresh oxygen which we get from the trees only. So if more forests are there, we get more fresh air. So tribal people who are living in the forest area, generally they have been very friendly to the forest. When you come to the urban people, they are anti-premise, they are not friendly to the forest. Why? Because they are in deforestation in the forest only. But whereas tribal people, they depend upon the forest only by selling the forest commodities from where they collect like honey or any seeds which they collect from the forest. They forests are the main livelihood for the tribal peoples. But for the urban people, which we cut the forest and we bring the wood and we sell for huge price in the cities. So the ecosystem of each and every forest includes both biotic and non-biotic components. The biotic components which include the plants, trees, shrubs, vines or the other things and microorganisms which is going to be taken place. Forest covers 1/3 of the Earth's landmass. The forests perform a vital function around the world. Around 1.6 billion people, including more than 2,000 indigenous cultures, depends upon the forest for their livelihood. Forests are the most biological diverse ecosystem on the life. So without forests, certain people, their main occupation, the main collection, the main life depends upon the forest only. Now, when we think how the forests are going to be useful, these are the things. Forests are the home to more than 80% terrestrial species and animals, plants, and insects. Forests provide a shelter, job, and security for the forest-dependent communities. Because as a forest, for example, if you just take tribal people, they can't come to the cities, they can't live in the cities. They're habituated from their childhood in the forest only. So their shelter is forest, their income comes from forest only. So they depend upon the forest only. So hence, forest plays a very important role in their life. Not only their life, but also for adapting the changes in the climate. Forest plays a very important role to get more rains, etc. When more forestation is there, you get more rains, etc. You get good oxygen, you get means balance of carbon dioxide and humidity air can be controlled only when forest is going to be contributed. The forest protects the watersheds which supply 75% of fresh water worldwide. Not only that, forest also provides the priceless ecological, economical, social, and health benefits because as in the forest we find different kinds of herbs, which is the medicinal plants where we can cure different kinds of viruses and diseases. And also it supports the job. For example, forest range officers, which is going to be going to protect the forest, etc. It sustains the rural livelihood. It provides the food security and nutrition. We get different kinds of food, different kinds of foods, way which you can't find in this. Because different kinds of foods or which we can't see in our life in the forest areas, you see that the unknown varieties of foods are found in the forest. And it fights for the climatic change. Why? Because the forest is a good sources of controlling the global warming. It protects us from the natural disasters. It plays as a playground for the recreation of some people. They go for trekking or etc. It's a type of a recreation enjoy at the weekends of the weeks. It affects the rainfall, particularly in different kinds of the regions. So these are the benefits they you get from the forest. Now, what are the types of forest we have? You find the different kinds of forest. That is, majority of the forest which are there on the earth it is being spreaded. If you take in the world wide, it is being spreaded. That majority of the forest of land is concentrated in a just same major countries. That is Brazil, United States, China, Canada, and Russia. Nearly about 19.26 of total India area covered with the forest. These forests can be classified in the following. See, when we see the first moist tropic forest, the moist tropic forest, its rainfall is 200 to 250 centimeters. The annual temperature lies between 24 and 27, and the humidity percentage is 80%. These are the evergreen forests. They are going to be found in the western coast of Assam and the eastern Himalayas, Orissa coast, and the neighboring hills. The importance of the plant varieties include different kinds of plants are found in this area, in the moist tropical, because most of the area which is there is moist, with the moisture the trees grows, and they are the bamboo trees, etc. Are the things which they grow in the moist tropical forest. When we come to the dry forest, mainly they found in Indian northern hill regions and some states of southern India. Basically, these forests are generated average rainfalls between 51 centimeters to 151. Trees of these forests drop its leaves in winter. We see many leaves which are falling in autumn seasons. That is new leaves generated after winter. During the rainy season, again these forests completely decorated with green leaves. Some of the significant trees are tropical forests, mango, bamboo trees. You just see the picture you can identify on the dry tropical forest. The mountain forest means a mountain temperate forest. These type of forests mainly generated north middle Himalaya ranges. Here it is, that is 1801 to 3001 of southern Nilgiri higher mountain ranges. These trees grows in the top of the hills, and about 201 centimeters average rainfall is being required. These types of forests, some of the significant trees of mountain temperature forests, which will oak trees like deodora trees, they are on the hills which grows. The mountain subtropical forest, these types of forests mainly generated in Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, except the mountain ranges of Western Ghats are also abode of these types of forests. Some of the significance of these trees which you found in pomegranate, olive trees, are found in the mountain subtropical forest. Alpine forest, these are snow shepherd trees which grows at the Himalayas. These grasses start in the elevation about 3,000 meters, grow up to the region just below the snow line. They are common in the both main Himalaya regions as well as barren cold deserts of the Himalayas. See, in this area, the trees are covered with snow only. And the other places, they are not yet covered with the trees. They have been grown in the hill stations or the moisture places, certain trees they grow. But alpine forest, where the trees grown in this area, it is being covered with the ice or snow which is being covered. Now coming to the mineral resources. We have mineral resources which is being naturally formed. It is also known as natural resources. So mineral is a natural sources, or it may be in a chemical form, it may be in a liquid form. Now minerals have to define, it's a chemical composition. See, it is not just like form. It is not just like form. Minerals are homogeneous, naturally occurring substances normally found in solids or liquids or gas, whatever. So these natural occurring inorganic substances created by nature geological process. It has been transformed into the mineral sources by the cultural process. And we have different types of minerals. Minerals can be classified into two types, metallic and non-metallic. Now when we call ferrous mineral, they contain iron. Example, iron ore, manganese, chromite, nickel, these are the pyrite, cobalt, etc. These are the ferrous minerals. And non-ferrous minerals, they contain metals other than iron, like gold, silver, where we can convert into jewelry or whatever it is. That for that purpose, non-ferrous minerals are going to be used. Non-metallic minerals which are going to be used, that is, the other type are the limestone, mica, gypsum, coal, petroleum. It may be into the liquid forms, it may be into the gas forms. So these are the three types of minerals where you are going to find in the mineral resources. So the importance of the mineral resources is, it is essential for the industry and economical development of the nation. Copper, tin, and iron ore were essentially for the ancient metal using the culture. See, they are using the copper, tin for and iron for construction of buildings, for using the vessels, etc. For other engineering work, we are going to use these types. And not only for this, we are also going to, for railways, computers, cars, etc. For modern society, we depend upon the exploitation of minerals. Too much exploitation of mineral also decreases. And for the future generation, if we use or we wasted all these resources, we can't do anything for the future generation. So, minerals, utilization of minerals should be properly used by the human resources. The government intervention in mining. Why government is keeping concentrate on using the minerals? Why it is keeping certain restrictions, keeping certain rules and regulations? Because to use in a proper way and not to wastage the resources. So see, government is more going to be intervention in mining to ensure and support the industrial growth, how to develop the industrial growth. And because when once an industrial growth is there, that leads to the economic growth of the country. And when once the economic growth of the country is being taken place, automatically economic development is going to be taken place of the health, the wealth, and the employment. And not to see that our minerals should be exploited by the others. So hence the government needs security, military security for these minerals to develop the country for the self-sufficient, to means to sustain and in economic, in industrial growth, economical growth, and economical development of the country. The government has to compulsory intervene by at the time of using the minerals by the citizens. Environmental degradation. Another thing is that environmental degradation is what is a degradation? Degradation refers to the loss of the depletion and the environmental degradation refers to the biodiversity through the depletion and exploitation of natural resources. When the natural resources can be exploited, either it is the land, water, or the other type of resources. It should not be misused by the human beings. So hence that is called a degradation. Now what are the different types of degradations are? We have a different kinds of degradation, that land and soil degradation, that is degradation of soil quality from poor farming practices, excessive use of fertilizers, pesticides, and the land is going to be farming by the agriculture. It should not be over excess fertilization should be taken place. Organic cultivation has to be taken place. In the olden days, there was like organic cultivation. After in the 1920, like this, again it has been went into the fertilizer. Now all the farmers have been, most of the farmers now they have been educated. Again, the fertilization agriculture is converting into organic agriculture, which is going to be taken place. So when organic cultivation is going to be taken place, we can reduce the degradation of environment. Now, another thing is water degradation. How water is going to be polluted. The pollution of water from trash dumped in the oceans, illegal of dumping disposables of large amounts of industrial waste into the rivers, lakes, etc. The water is going to be polluted. It is not useful for the daily purpose like drinking or washing vessels or whatever it is. So water should not be degraded. When water has been degraded, people are going to be suffered with different kinds of skin diseases, the other diseases. So water degradation is another problem for the consumption of human beings. Another thing is atmospheric degradation. Atmospheric degradation is where the pollution which comes from the bikes or from the industries, the air or which is coming out of or from the wastage using the or the particles of the pollution. These not only damaging the human body, but also it is depleting the ozone layer. Then once the ozone layer is day by day is going to be depleting, now what happens? The ultraviolet rays reaches the earth. When once the ultraviolet rays reach the earth, it is going to affect the human being on the earth. Not only human being, but also the animals and the plants are going to be affected. And there are the other kinds of pollutions also there. Apart from the land, water, and atmosphere degradation, like noise pollution, light pollution, are the things which day by day as urbanization is going on increasing, we are seeing the traffic problems, etc. Traffic problems which is going to have noise pollution. Not only that, but also there is no difference between morning and night. Even night, you have electrified with the LED bulbs, etc. There is no difference in the urbanization morning and night. Only you find morning and night in villages only. When you come to the cities, they will not have a difference between the morning and night. In the morning, you have a natural light. In the night, you have artificial light. So that also polluting or degrading. These are some of the things of which is degrading the environment. Now, what are the effects of environmental degradation? Impact on human health, it is going to have an impact on the human health because of either it is air, either it is the water, when we drink the degraded water which is being mixed with plastic or the other harmful particles which has been mixed with water, when we drink such type of water, even death may take place. So impact on human health, loss of biodiversity because in the water the other species like fishes or different kinds of living animals are there, so they are going to die. Not only that, the global warming takes place, ozone layers, when it has been depleting the ozone layers, ultraviolet reduces the earth, and it is going to be useful to the harmful to the earth and human life on the earth. Laws for the tourism industry. Because degradation of environmental, no person will come to as a tourist to the country. Why? Because of environmental damage, which is loss of green cover. See, when you have a green cover, green fields in the country, hill stations, then it is going to be feast for the eyes. When such site is not there in the country without green fields or covered with water, big dumps of waste, etc. There is a loss to the tourism industry. So hence degradation of environmental brings loss to the tourism industry. The country which is having the green fields and having a great landfills, which is having the hill stations, etc., you have more tourism industry, and that leads for the economic and that shows the economic development of the country. So degradation loss for the tourism industry and economic impact. That's what I say is when there is no proper sufficient pure water and the land is not fertile or there is no using of land, which may certain purposes you require healthy land. Not only healthy human beings, healthy land is also required for a good healthy agriculture system. Why? Because if a land has been barren with full of pesticides, etc., then it does not give a good cultivation. So it is going to be having the economic impact. You don't get a huge cultivation. When you don't get the yield of crop is not that much of good. You don't get the at the time of selling a good amount. When you don't get a good amount, there will not be a growth of the economy because majority of the people are depending upon the agriculture sector only. So economic impact compulsory. When there is effect in the agriculture sector, automatically it is going to affect the economic sector. So that is another thing. Global warming due to the dangerous chemicals which are coming from the industry, companies, etc., which is going or gases which is coming, it is going to pollute the environment. Then once it is going to pollute the environment, a global warming takes place. So a global warming is a causing for that country to maintain a green goal. So overpopulation is another also environmental disease because if overpopulation are there, urbanization is going to be taken place, more pollution is going to be taken place, and the abuse of natural resources also going to be taken place. So hence, overpopulation also is another factor of degradation of environment. Now, what are the solutions to control the environmental degradation? Stop deforestation. No cutting of the forest. More plantations should be taken place. Government rules should be very strict rules and regulations which are going to be there. They should be very strict. If anyone has break the rules and regulations, they should be fined, punished for the illegal dumping of waste or either dumping at the on the land or in the water, whatever it is, it should not be taken place. If any companies are going to do such type of action going to be taken place by any companies or any individual, government has to be fine them and punish them. Reducing the composition levels, reduce the wastage, especially plastic should be reduced because they cannot be it cannot going to be converted. Then once plastic is started using, degradation of environmental system has been increasing day by day. So stop of using or avoid using of plastic, educate them. If it is going to be environmental is going to be degradation, what are the impacts are going to be taken place for the future generation? Because the future generation may not born healthily. Why? Because the environmental degradation. So some of the areas people to just see the areas of Somalia countries, you just go and see the pictures of the Somalia country. People are very thin and they don't have the proper resources or they don't have been educated. So because of environmental degradation. So you convince the people not to waste the water, not to pollute the water, not to pollute the air, not to pollute the land, etc. When you convince, when you educate them, then we can solve the environmental disease. Now, as said by the Gandhiji, the world has enough for everyone. Everyone is having enough. The need, but the not enough for everyone's greed. See, people, all the human beings having good sufficient resources. But if you are greedy too much, whatever the resources available in the country, they are not sufficient. So hence, once you go to the Gandhiji, what he said is that is, the world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. Despite of knowing the understanding this truth, we should maintain our resource. We should maintain to protect our resources, and it is the right and accountability and responsibility of the every citizens to be self-disciplined. Now coming to the infrastructure. Infrastructure provides supporting services in the main areas of industry and agriculture production domestic. See, now till now we have already I said we have two types of resources. One is natural resources, another is man-made resources or human-made resources. So we completed the natural resources. Coming to the man-made resources. So infrastructure provides supporting services for the industrial and agriculture production. Now, infrastructure is the man-made resources which are going to be constructed like roads, energies, railways, ports, airports with the help of natural resources. So, man-made resources are being formed already, which are being built. They are converting those and they are constructed for the use of their own purposes. For example, land is built. They constructed roads to maintain the route to reach the destination. So hence, these are the services which are going to be run the business or to do any certain work comfortably, peacefully, without any restriction. So infrastructure is a man-made resources which people want to be in a peaceful and supporting services of their daily life. These services include like roads, energy, railways, ports, airports, dams, power station, oil and gas pipelines, telecommunication facilities of the country. These are called infrastructures of the country. The country which is having a good infrastructure, which means the country is a developing or a developed country. So sometimes these facilities have a direct impact on the production of goods and services, while the other give indirect support by building the social sectors of the economy. Infrastructure supports not only the industrial sector, but also the agriculture production and foreign domestic business also. The country economical and social development is directly depends upon the country's infrastructure. Why? Because if a country is sophisticatedly developed, you can say there is a good infrastructure because it is having a good roads, it is having a good transportation facilities, it is having proper energy, etc. All these are known as a developed country. So many developed countries are having a good infrastructure facilities. Now we have a different types of infrastructure. There are two types of infrastructure: economic infrastructure and social infrastructure. Now, what is economic infrastructure? Economic infrastructure, which is associated with energy, transport, and communications, are included in this form type of category. Now, what is energy resources? Energy resources are the various resources which generates from the coal, petroleum, natural gas, wind, different types which is going to be taken place by wind energy, hydel energy, water, from where we get energy from the water, from the wind, from the solar energy. These are the different types of energy where we get it. And we have again a different types of energies, that is conventional energy, non-conventional energy. Conventional energy examples include coal, petroleum, natural gas, and electricity. Non-conventional energy examples include solar, wind, tidal. These are the things which are going to be geothermal, automatic energy, biogas are the non-conventional energy. And another thing is the transport and communication. Transport and communication plays a very important role in the infrastructure. Why? Because to know that this country is a developed country or developing country or underdeveloped country, it is purely based on the transport and communication. A good communication, a country which is having a good communication, it is in a progressive and prosperity. A country which does not have communication, it is being connectivity, it is being disconnecting with the world. So India is having a huge population of more than 1 billion people. There are different types of transportation system in India, which are well developed. They can be catered for the needs of the such as huge population. As India is having a huge population, which is having we require a different kinds of transport people who are going for their daily needs or daily lives. So transportation system employs millions of the people. It also provides the employment opportunity for those who want to start their own business related to our transport services. So people working from one place to another place, daily n number of people traveling from one place to another place for the livelihood, for they going students going for the colleges, etc. So we use different types of modes of transportation. So what are the different types of modes of transportation which we have? There are different types of roadways, railways, waterways, and airways. Roadways which we go through the land by on the land, roadways and railways. Waterways which we are going to use the marine ways, airways which we go through the aeroplanes, etc. These are called different modes of transportation. Now, communication systems refers to the channel of the exchange of ideas, information, news, and views takes place between the different individual groups and institutions. To exchange information from our life, from one country to other country, to know about the news of the one country to other country, to know about the sharing of the ideas, knowing the news of the other countries, the major impact role is going to play that is the communication. A strong communication says that the country is highly and sophisticatedly developed country. The country which is not having connectivity with the world. See, when we just take a globalization, globalization is one of the playing a very making entire globe as a small village just because of a good communication between the countries. So hence communication plays a very important role not only between the nations, even between the persons also, which bring a good relationship among the persons, among the nations, etc. So now what are the means of communication available in India? Postal services, telegraph services, telecommunications, courier service, electronic media, internet services, radio and television. See, before these are different kinds of communication services. When we first take in the 1920s, we only have the postal services, telegraph service, telecommunication service. We don't have courier service, electronic media. These are the recent inventions of courier, electronic, internet, radio, and television. Before, even they were there, but they were too costly to use these services. But nowadays, the communication has become a very cheaper because of where we are going to use as day by day the communication is going to be a quality and a cheaper communication is going to give. As we have different kinds of internet like Airtel, BSNL, there are different types of modes of communication through the internet which we are using the mobile data, using the cell phones, all these which you can connect it with your world or you can have a communication digital marketing. This is a net communication service, which we call the internet services. So sitting in the house only, you can connect with the world. You need not go outside. So communication is going to be helpful and not only playing an important role, but also it is going to information considering the factors production like land, labor, capital management, how to use them, etc. So communication plays a very important role for the developing your economy or using the economy, whether how to use the communication to be big. There should not be a communication gap with the world. A country want to develop, it has to communicate with the world. If it is not communicating with the world, the country is going to be underdeveloped. Now, the other thing is the social infrastructure. What is the social infrastructure? Is associated with education, health, and housing are included uh, in the social infrastructure. Before it was only education health because people who are in the country they should be well educated. A well educated will have a good health. A good health will have in the house. So the basic needs of any person is that is education, food, clothing, and shelter. These are things. But in the social infrastructure, education and health plays a very important role. Nowadays, even housing also is being required. This type of infrastructure is basic service to improve the individual productivity to achieve their social goals. See, how much educated you are. When you don't have a good health, when you don't have your own dream house, you are not being satisfied in your life. So hence, the everyone should have their own house. They dream for their own house. So hence, social infrastructure which is going to be balance your life or which is going to be helpful for well-being of your life. So social infrastructure also plays an important role in the human being. That is a good education, good health, and housing are being included later part. Now recently they are also included housing. Before only education health was given the priority. But now also a person, every individual's dream is for having a good house. So this type of infrastructure has a basic service to ensure the individual productivity. Not only this, the person, the country of giving good education, health, housing to their citizens means the country is an economically developed country. Education sector does not contribute directly, but economic development of the country based upon what on education health only. So then economic growth leads to economic development. Economic development leads to the high quality of the life for residing in the country. So producing the doctors, scientists, engineers, technologists, where you reach for the economic development of the country. So these are the few examples of the social infrastructure. Not only these of your how to get a proper clean and pure water, which is called. Because degradation of water, degradation of land, degradation of that does not give a good health to the citizens in the country. So education and health should be there. Proper sanitization should be there. Proper health should be maintained by the country. So these are going to be given to the citizens by the government. So social infrastructure is giving good education, good health, and housing for all the families, etc. The social infrastructure improves the human productivity and efficiency through the facilities through the education only. See, how you improve your human productivity when you have been educated, when you know what is good, what is bad, how to use and how not to use. Means the responsibility and accountability lies on you when you have been educated. When you know about good and bad only, then only you can think yourself and you can maintain the self-discipline when you have been educated. So these are the directly supported for the economic growth of the economy of a country. So the economic growth leads to the economic development. Then economic development is a part of the social infrastructure of the country. So that tells about the social media. So with this, we have been ended the chapter. Anyone is having any doubts, they can come out with the doubts. Are you clear with all these? Anyone is having any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Is it clear? My everything is clear?
Yes, ma'am. And yesterday, today class PDF share me, ma'am.
You just speak hello to me, then I can say it. Can you contact your console director?
Your
So,
number give.
no, you can contact your director, then you'll have in the you contact your director. I'll send to your director, okay?
But your number is not there, ma'am. Please give me your number.
You take the 9440 9440 130
9
440
440
130
130
625.
621.
625, ma'am.
625. Okay, ma'am. 9440130625.
Okay, again see you in the Saturday class. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank
Is
you.
it clear now, ma'am? Everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see you.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.